Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's LCK matchup.
Collect himself a red buff here as the vertical jungling is going to continue. Still teleport coming through here. Hanwha considering a bit of a dive as Keen gets down towards that bottom side. Some burly members of Gen.G down here, but the death grip comes on through. And Doran able to get Keen down to about 50% underneath this turret.
They're gonna try, but I don't know. This is a level 3 Cassante. Keen, even with half health, should still be quite tanky.
Yeah, well, they get the CC down. There's the pushback. Keen burning, and it is going to be first blood going over to Lahens. Instantly answered by Peanut taking down Keen.
But well, they were able to get the kill, but I don't think that's how Hanwha Life wanted to play it ends.
And Doran's going to get stopped on his back butt. Yeah, that's going to be the pullback there as Lahens in a little bit of trouble. Viper gets that frost shot on him, and his ex-teammate looks to be going down. Peanut collects another.
Two really greedy plays here from Lahens.
There is a ward there that is going to spot Kenyon. The light's on his way. I don't know if he'll be in time, though.
He's too late. Yeah, Doran's going to be in a lot of trouble, but Delight should turn up.
They know.
Lahens gets the information. And now Doran, can he actually find it? That death grip, absolutely amazing. But the crash down's working out. Doran gets a big old shield, and Gen.G unable to actually close any of these kills. Delight goes in. Canyon's so incredibly low. Lahens trying to tank up the turret, and Paze ends up collecting the kill, but now the reset monster could be coming through. Paze has already gone down, and Zeka not actually able to get into range here.
Yeah,
on the play.
Still a lot of cooldowns, and I think Hanwha Life actually feeling quite good, although with this gank, maybe not.
Big aggression here as Delight's going to get pulled back. The Eclipse doing a lot of work, but I don't think it's going to be able to do enough here as Gen.G with 3 are able to take him down. Lahens getting revenge on his
the biggest experience gap that we have between two players right now, meaning that Gen.G isn't really in a position to get anything going when it comes to contesting.
No, I think
so we'll see if that is enough reason for Hanwha Life to maybe peace out, but nope, not happening.
There's a teleport in, and we do have the ultimate available here from Doran. The arrow going to connect as Viper is flanking. Okay, Stranglethorns is going to kill Canyon. He can't impale his way out of that one. And some more grubs going over to Hanwha Life Esports in this Tristana. Soul, pick up the cinders, drift around the map, feel really good about
it. Dive Mordekaiser.
Yeah, Dive Mordekaiser at level 10 with the ultimate available. That is a rough choice, but they are still going to consider it. Chovy, he's the one that goes in. The stun had already connected as well from Viper. And Chovy able to get out of the way of one of the abilities, but not that one. Still, it doesn't matter. The Mordekaiser goes down.
But
and somehow he survives.
Actually, knows they're going to lose a turret in exchange, but look at how many resources were already spent to try to stop the Tristana from getting that plate gold, getting that top turret. She still gets it. It's in trade for a turret, but that's a Cassante picking up the gold versus a Tristana picking up the gold. This is exactly where Hanwha Life want to be. Herald gets dropped down here in mid. This is the type of snowball this comp try to deny these turrets from going down. I mean, that's the tug of war that we're playing here. That 2,000 gold lead has become a 3,000 gold lead. Zeka, he's the one with all the money, and this is exactly where Hanwha want to be, but here comes the arrow.
Another arrow going to connect, this time onto Lahens. That's a big impale onto two there, but the Stranglethorns encounter. Triple knockup. True Shot Barrage says no to that play, though. They take down the turret, yes, but they lose almost everyone as Hanwha Life Esports now have to back away.
Into Doran, which makes sense. But Zeka and Viper, as of right now, absolutely demolish him. We saw it earlier. Just Koenig isn't going to do a lot, and you can see, ideally, Cassante will be able to walk up.
Guys,
not so much. No,
ladies and gentlemen,
gone. It's gone. Yeah.
Delight's going to help out.
Gen.G's buildings are falling down. Like, all of the buildings just keep falling down, guys.
Well, I mean, this is what, no, I don't think so. So now Hanwha have, second Drake. It's not Soul Point, so this is not the end of the world here for Gen.G. They were able to get that one dragon, so that's 5 minutes of extra time. Smolder can play into Zyra plant setups, and Hanwha Life will need to respect that and play carefully around that, because that damage is so frustrating to deal with, even when you're trying to contest Prio for a dragon, for example. And okay, hold that thought. Lahens going in.
Yep, Deathrum is going to come on through here as Doran just wanting to take down the Realm before the battle's even started. Pace in a lot of trouble in the arrow! And it's Zeka that's able to lock down the kill, gets the reset out of the way of Canyon now. And Lahens is still alive, but it does not matter. There's so much damage raining down. He finally finds a Magnus Storm, and maybe it's just going to be Chovy that ends the show, but in fact it's not, because Zeka's here and he says, remember 2022? Well, here's another dose.
For Keen here, he just does not last. Now, with really good engages here, with the Magnus Storm combo with Canyon, there are a lot of Qs that go off, a lot of...
Specifically Keen on this blind Cassante, this is something that Gen.G keeps doing, even though Keen, I feel like, gets beat down again and again. And
They'll
again,
lose all of their camps. They're going to keep falling further and further behind. And Peanut, a player very, very good at this, is there. Fail! Speaking of which, he's just going to get blown up. Lahen's going to follow suit, but you can see Chovy in a decent position to do damage, and now Pays is actually in the fight. And look at these queues! They're being torn apart over the wall. Is Zeka, though, still looking for some angles? But they're like, nope, we don't want to risk it. We're going to try and get out of there. I see Viper trying to keep them at bay with that volley.
Lahen's getting a lot of vision set up here, actually, into Hanwha Life's jungle. It has a nice wraparound angle potentially as well.
Oh, Delight's fishing for it. They find the solar flare. This is the flashless Skarner. He still finds an impale, but is it going to be enough as Peanut goes golden? But that's a lot of bad guys. You're not on Gen.G anymore, my friend. And Doran now just trying to run away. Once again, Peanut in the ground.
But it looks like they might.
Look at the positioning of Lahen's, though. He has so much vision, he set it up earlier. They have a lot of information. They can punish, they can turn.
Yeah, Zeka going for a bit of an angle here. The crash down works, and there's the execute. Can't Buster shot him away from that one, and that should be Baron. Going over to Gen.G as Viper, I don't think wants to contest.
Lahen's missing his stun there and still making the play work. That's that Lahen's energy that we're looking for.
I mean, he was just moments before
Be able to grab their Cloud Soul that they had waiting for them in the pit. Looks like Gen.G will be able to collect that, utilizing the Baron that they had.
Is not going to be one unless Doran gets access to Chovy. That's the one way that there is still an out here for Hanwha Life, because straight up front to back, with how tanky Canyon now is for the arrow, and then also a stopwatch, just to make sure he's okay.
For the next arrow.
Wait.
Alright, the arrow is going to connect onto Viper's ex-teammate. The Stranglethorns just spreads them all out. Zeka's almost dead. Chovy is going to use one of his stopwatches, this one for the Death Realm, and now that Mordekaiser is just dead. It's Pays that executes him in the end, and the inner turret now going down. Gen.G might just be finished with game one.
And Chovy does actually get found by Doran, but Pays says, I can step up this time around, gets the damage, and Hanwha can't collapse.
Gen.G, massive win here. It all starts with the play, topside, Canyon flashes for the Impale, they get map control, they turn that fight in mid, and it's just so impressive.
Still going, another Magnus Storm comes in here, maybe a little bit of a bridge too far there, Lahen's, as he was feeling himself. You know, it's been a bit of a hyphy game so far, as that is going to put an end. Grasping Roots is going to connect this time.
He's got Cleanse Flash, and his E will come back in a second. It's so hard to lock down this champion without that Nautilus pick, you know, that was banned earlier. I mean, Leon is still good here, but...
Those buttons that he has, and Hanwha Life Esports are going to hope they're not dead by the time Chovy is dead, because if he's left to hit them with anything, he just dies. Arrow going to connect. It does give them a bunch of extra vision. Lahen's trying to crash away from this. The Baron kind of ignored now. Doran just putting Lahen's into that Death Realm. And the Impale is going to connect. It's onto Peanut, but he goes golden as well. His Sonya's now completed. Can he get another spell off? And it's the Cassante in trade for this Zyra.
But it just doesn't feel like it matters. Maybe they'll be able to trade for the soul here. I don't think that alone is going to be enough.
But I think it's the only choice they can make. They clear the wave. Zeka still had teleport, so he can come over here and help secure this. So he wants to just buy time for this Baron. 30 seconds left, but now he's down to teleport. The third inhibitor hanging by a thread here.
The minion wave just kind of gave up. And so Pays is going to help that one move on over. It did look a little bit comical, but it was necessary. Arrow going to connect into the backline there. Good buffer on the arcade shift as the Impale used only onto Delight, but he's still melting. Doran trying to get into that backline, but it's Chovy that locks down the first one. Keen in trouble, but how much trouble is he really in? Because this dragon is only just getting started, but so is the Tristana. Some angles here for Viper as well, as now they're looking for it. Chovy is so incredibly low. Oh, and the burn! Is it enough? And the answer's no, as Hanwha Life.
No Tristana here.
25 seconds for base. They can definitely get the inhib.
Oh, we've got an Elder Flip in this game, boys.
Oh,
we have definitely got an Elder Flip in this one. It's going to be an inhibitor to go down here.
And
I don't know whether they get... I mean, there's a lot of damage. There is a lot of damage. Arrow is back up again. Canyon extremely tanky. Lahen's trying to get in there. Look at that. The Nexus turret just evaporates. As Zeka is not going to be dying to Lahen.
He's going for it!
It's going for it! No! The rocket jump and game one goes to Hanwha Life Esports. Zeka! So On does give them some engage. It's going to be Delight locking in the cow though, and it feels like this is a bit more of a stock standard composition.
Yeah, and unlike the last game, Gen.G has tons of prio bottom side. They have prio in mid, and even though Canyon's gank attempt...
Yeah, it actually is a little tough. I think you are just situations like this where you can get a man advantage and use the long range engage that you have available.
Not a lot of damage until Zeka gets here. He is finally going to come down. Bellow's Breath is fantastic, even gets the train on in, but Keen is still going to die, and that is first blood going over to Zeka. The risk is they're going to trade Dragons 1-for-1 and trade turrets 1-for-1. First turret blood going over to Gen.G though, as they lock down that top outer.
Yeah, I imagine that they were looking to see if Keen was going to TP back in, because they were hiding in fog. If he does TP, you have Prio where they need it and are starting up this arrow, but there's the TP.
Yeah, it looks like Hanwha Esports, they've decided that now is when they want to start fighting. Decent buffer on the slice there from Doran as the Dominus does come on through. Lehand's going down extraordinarily low, but so's the Crocodile, and he's going to fall first. The train drives through, but Canyon's already dead. There goes the Blitzcrank as well as the Orn's starting to get amongst it. Delight has been tanking a decent amount as Pace just rockets out of there. Chovy should be able to get over this wall, though not quite enough with the Phosphorus Bomb to be able to take that one down, but he just taxis his way through, and Delight is going to be A-OK. Viper with the shield from the Trigger Seed. As Peanut getting in a little bit of trouble, Pays can't tank up the turret by himself.
In a very confident, or rather a very decisive way. So Gen.G are probably feeling very good about the outcome.
Well, hook onto Daisy.
That's mean.
That is so mean. It is a fair bit of money.
It's good.
For Gen.G.
It's a very good hook.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, especially Peanut had just used it. The chain CC lands on top of him, the Ivan. Oh, they just took down his best friend, and then they cut him down as well. Another hook, and that is the Azir. The main character of Hanwha Esports is just dead, and there's no way they're fighting this one, as the Dragon will go down as well. The second one for Gen.G, the first Hextech Drake of this series.
And where game number 1 was an extremely high pace.
Find some way to rock it. 2 items for the Azir. You have a lot of great ways to set up fights.
Oh, once again onto Peanut. The hook is going to connect onto Delight, and he's going to use that to taxi forward. The Blitzcrank, certainly not very tanky, but neither is Delight as it turns out. Redemption to keep him alive, but it's Pace just raining frosty bullets into his backside. And Daisy will once again fall down. This is a 1-for-1 this time, both of the supports falling down. As a teleport in from Zeka, he just wants to take as much money on this map as he can find.
There are ways to blow up single targets, and there are ways for Zeka, if they get map control, to set up for flank angles, to set up for engages.
There's no turrets.
Oh dear. Yeah, there are a lot of bad guys coming, and Zeka does not have a lot of friends on the way outside of Peanut. The flash forward from Chovy. Oh, doesn't get slowed down by the volley. Good sidestep there, as now it might be Peanut going down yet again. He does get the brush for Zeka, who's trying to play it out. Pays almost falls, but it's Zeka that goes down in the end. Delight realizing there's no follow-up, there's no angle, as Lahens versus Viper. From best friends to enemies, and he is going to ornaments being constructed. As we do have a start on this one, there's a lot of terrain for that arrow to fly through, and there it is, it appears onto the cow. Doesn't even press the R button, does Delight, so that is not really what they were looking for. Hanwha Esports had an inkling on the plate. Doran looking for a flank angle. As there's the curtain call. We have the Dominus come through as well, going into that backline. The Emperor's Divide is decent, but they're being cut apart. And yes, they get the Corki, but at what cost? And the answer is, yeah, everything.
Anyways, and Corki dies, sure, but like you said, they lose basically everything. And this might be
straight between the goalposts. Not going to be able to find too much more there. As Hook going to connect onto the cow, and Delight going to need to use the Unbreakable Will this time, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Thankfully, the curtain call is going to be there, and that does play some interference. Chovy just happily taking these shots, though it's just not doing that much.
But now you don't have your curtain call to really defend the siege, and Chovy's wrapping around. He's starting to put those arrows, and here comes the Ornhorn.
Yep, the train is going to come on through once again. Good double knockup comes down, but the redemption is there to keep them healthy once more.
All from Hanwha Live. The main thing is trying to deny the opportunity for Gen.G to actually take down inhibitors.
Not in terms of killing structures and killing turrets and trying to get the Tristana ahead, but you need to actually win team fights. You need to be oppressive on the map. Once you lose control, Baron goes down. Now Gen.G go, yeah, we get set up for the vision.
Possible angle here, but this is a very tanky Keen, able to walk his way through the Emperor's Divide. The Stranglethorns comes in, the rest of Gen.G, they're making their way over, but it's just not quite in time. They'll take a consolation Daisy, but they still lose their top laner towards the end of that little skirmish. But the arrow is up, and it's going to be thrown straight into Zeka, who's in Fog of War. There is a brush there to make sure that he is not going to be seen. Finally, they get a control ward through, but now, will it be Hextech Soul, which is probably game, or will it be a one-team fight finally for Hanwha Esports? Already Keen going down very, very low as Chovy trying to cut up Doran. And Doran just can't do anything. He's kind of a handbag in this one. They do manage to take down the Dragon in exchange for the Crocodile. It's a reptilian bargain, but I don't know whether it's going to work because it looks like after the deal is done, Gen.G trying to close this one out. The train does get one knockup, but not onto the priority target as Zeka in the brushes once again. He has Emperor's Divide, but he uses, Emperor's Escape
And
instead.
a couple more of these, not just the Dragon, but the fights. But you are going to want to get the most out of this fight your way
No big
back.
cryo.
Yep, Doran knows exactly what's going on, but what is one Croc supposed to do against this one? He presses the dominance, but Hanwha Esports are just a little bit too late, and that is going to be the Hextech Soul to come in. Doran is executed, and in they go. The hook is going to connect. Zeka goes golden, but that only buys a couple of extra seconds. The Emperor's Divide was by 0, I'm pretty sure, in that instance there, and now they're going to move on over towards this Baron and try to take that one down. Keen looking for a little bit more as Peanut will get knocked off the gate, and he is going to be able to take it here. But that is not going to stop this Baron from going down. Viper doing some sneaky stuff here, walking away, and is going to be able to take down.
Pretty consistently, right? Because there is so much CC and so much damage available. If you overstep,
Daisy!
already,
Oh, arrow once again going to be collected, but it's Peanut that's in trouble. He's isolated. Another hook! This time onto the Crocodile. The Sterix does nothing because he just can't move. And Gen.G there will be able to take down the top laner. That's going to buy them so much space. This base is just not going to last very much longer.
I mean, if you get slowed, he's going to hit that hook every time. And you have Hextech Soul.
And he's sliced to get out of the way as well, and then got hooked. There's no way he can do anything.
It's just doomed. It's just doomed in this one.
And the first inhibitor turret is going to go down. Inhibitor very short to follow. Minion waves prepared earlier here for Gen.G are now taxiing towards both flanking turrets here. And Hanwha Esports, is there anything? Is there any angle? The thing is, I just don't see it. I don't see what they're supposed to do in this situation. Another arrow going to be soaked by Peanut. The tree is felled once again. The cow follows suit. The pigeon's down. And Viper just has to look on in horror as his menagerie is destroyed. And the Nexus is going to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, in this grand final, it's Doran, that ability to answer. I think that Mordekaiser really did put a bit of fear in there, as there's that skill matchup we were talking about. Counter-Strike
lane
versus...
swaps for two reasons. One is passive gives him so much damage to turrets, and then secondly, he has TP. Viper ended up going barrier, which I do think is warranted given that you're playing into a lot of bursts, as we're trying to deny Keen access, but with Lansdowne and level 2, we'll see if they can get him as, that shouldn't be
17 win streak.
Yeah, the 17 win streak is pretty good. The grand entrance is even better here as Lahans is going to go down. That's first blood to the Jin. And I think that this one
Right now, they have a numbers advantage here. Tough for Keen to rotate his way in.
Yeah, Doran does have the inside track, so that's going to help out. There's the flash grand entrance. It's going to connect onto Peanut here. Onto Lahens, sorry. As the hook shot comes on through. There's the flash in from Doran. He wants steak for dinner, and he might just find it. The fate is sealed. And Zeka picks up the kill. It's another one for Hanwha Esports, and now they're looking for some grubs.
And Gen.G looking disjointed because Keen was catching the wave, wasn't able to make his way over. So the rest of the team playing really aggressively for a contest on these grubs. Doesn't end up working out. Kane going for a steal.
Yeah, a little bit of a drive-by situation here. Wants to be able to grab one of them, but there are 3 versus 2. In goes Keen, and they take down the tree. It's going to be the Skarner looking one up and down. Chovy a couple of autos, and Zeka is just dead. Delight in trouble too, and it's a double for the Corki. And it went so well at the beginning, but it's just all gone on its head now as Hanwha Esports
flash over the wall, and then on the subsequent play, misses his hook shot, doesn't actually hit the wall as Canyon might be in trouble.
Okay, yep, that is a jump scare if ever I've seen one. Does find an Impale on 2, but what is the answer after that? That's the question, and the answer is a sealed fate, as they are going to keep him alive for a while because they wanted Viper to get the kill, and ultimately that is precisely what they'll achieve. A bit of a disastrous play around the grubs.
Yeah. Still a pretty decent position here for Gen.G. It might get better.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily the greatest of trades there for Doran, who just gets leapt on and destroyed. And then cocks his head a little bit in the player cam as he
back in on when he's spinning.
It's kind of crazy because it looks like he thought it was going to time out as a Keen. It might be in some trouble here.
Yep, Doran just calling in his mates here as Delight is also in a lot of trouble. The Nature's Grasp is going to come on through, moves out of the way of the not going to be able to escape. So now a killing spree for Viper. He is very scary. But I don't know what it all means yet, gentlemen. The gold is completely even. Canyon's now found another target as they just separate Doran. Top laners are just not having a great time, except, oh, that's a gorgeous impale. Zeka says, oh, my people strong.
So game 1 was cinema. Game 2 was kind of a beatdown. Game 3 is a cartoon. I don't know what's happening. Everyone getting dove in sides.
We just need a Doran to say
Game 3 is a TikTok chronicler. Oh! Doesn't get the final shot. So, and yeah, even with the vision that they have, I don't really think Hanwha Life are in a great position here. As Zeka trying to backing.
Yeah, Kane now moving back towards the inner turret. It looks like maybe Gen.G not wanting to fight for this one as Canyon just drives through the wall and heads back to the mid lane. And yeah, they are going to give this one up. They're just going to look for some turret situation, right?
So yeah,
we
ultimately
have a turret that doesn't go down, and we've got a dragon that was taken there by Hanwha Life Esports, and now Chovy's in trouble. Hextech Ultimatum comes in, the flash already down, Grand Entrance comes through, and Chovy, nothing you can do about that one. Wow, yeah, Hayes, he's teleported already. Vapor Inferno Bomb is up. This Baron's going down so incredibly fast, so they're all inside the pit. The Camille goes down so incredibly fast with the knockup. Great here, the baits get sealed, but Zeka also just straight up goes down. This Counter-Strike doesn't quite work. Hanwha Life Esports, they have found a disengage. The curtains have been set, but now the Baron belongs to Gen.G. And Hanwha can't do anything about it. Peanut trying to get himself in there. Pace can't take it up. He probably shouldn't be the one doing that. As Lahens gets the wrap around and Pace gets himself over the wall. Still, Lahens does go down. Viper gets himself over the wall as the Baron is secured there by Canyon. It's absolute cinema. And Gen.G come out on top.
They could have just team. If this is way later, then maybe you can get away with it, but Hanwha make a huge mistake.
That's mid-turret now. Problem is able to buy the arm guard here for some additional safety, which feels fantastic given the comp of HLE. I think if HLE didn't use that Maokai ultimate right on that last pick onto Chovy, then maybe they could have turned, maybe they could have made that Baron work, but so many consequences of their actions here, and you can feel the pressure that Gen.G comes with it as well.
Not to mention the fact that they now get to move through the enemy jungle over to this inner turret as well, putting pressure in so many places. There's the satchel onto the turret, and it's a free kill onto Doran at the same time. Gen.G might be able to use this as the teleport. Gonna do it either as Paze really wants to help push this one through. But in the end, it's going to be Keen here just taking out a turret and then looking to take down a Doran as well. He's flashing in for this one. As, yeah, tactical sweep not really going to be doing too much there. Does avoid the counter-strike as he flashes away. And the deadly flourish comes down. So Doran keeps himself alive, puts everything into the play in order to get out. Still will survive.
This is the angle where you try to start a Baron fight and go for a Hail Mary here in turn, because this time you have your ults. This time you have the tools, you have vision, you have the scuttle. You're not going to outscale them. You will not beat them in that longer game.
Oh, Doran in a little bit of trouble here as he tries to hookshot his way out. It just does not work. The ultimatum is something that Gen.G doesn't really care about because either option they're okay with. And Keen gonna step on a side.
But this time you don't have the tools.
Yeah,
I know that, but I have to try something.
Yeah, can Skana get through walls, guys? I think he might have a way into the pit. As now Paze moving on over to the side, Lahens, you know that he's lurking, and he gets on in there, the pulverize on too. Viper able to get that flash to get himself out, though. He's so much of the damage. And Doran, he manages to take down the cow. Corky goes down as well. The Baron is secured, though, by Gen.G. And Hanwha Life Esports, it was a bunch of funny business, but it wasn't funny enough to win them the game.
And even with Canyon impaling the air, it doesn't matter. Gen.G, they have the damage. This time they have multiple threats. Yes, Chovy goes down, but it just doesn't matter. And they're about to head up to 2-1, breaking the win streak of this Maokai that has terrorized the LCK and the global stage for so long.
Yep, a win streak was going to die in this one, and it looks like, unfortunately for Peanut, it is going to be his on his tree. Nexus turret does go down, and this Nexus no longer for the world, the short fuse of the Zip. And an Udyr is an interesting choice. He's the only one that we've really seen find a lot of success on this champion. And you can hear a bit of an engage here as Delight turning up. Does get the Valkyrie out of Chovy, as we could see there.
I mean, they lose
gonna
the
be the
dragon.
Yeah,
They lose the dragon, and they're not set up for...
Oh, the flash comes through. Peanut finds a window here. The flash hook comes down, and the punch comes in. Another punch there from
Drop
the
it down to 3, and Canyon's here.
I'm not sure if he was spotted on that ward there. I don't see any pings just yet. Now, obviously, they know.
Yeah, not a lot of minions, but I don't think it really matters as Stranglethorns goes down. Canyon was just wanting to make the most of it, but they don't find the autos. The beauty of the Jax, ladies and gentlemen, is now Keen. He picks up Taradagger. I don't know about this one. Good flash to make sure that Doran gets himself out of the way, but he's not out of the woods just yet. Few of these autos coming in. There is no mana, but now the nature is grasping. And Keen gets pushed back. Canyon, he picks up the Torrent aggro, and Peanut is the one to pick up the kill. And now Zeka comes in. Keen's now in trouble. The flash forward just to make sure that he's able to get it. And there's
Doesn't have his Leandris here just yet. And I think it would have been fine if not for the fact that then subsequently they go for a redive. Kenyon
Problem is that it's not a tempo advantage with the fact that, you know, you're just taking a turret on both sides. Not really going to do too much, especially with even grubs. And now Delight possibly in trouble. There's the flash out. Bullet time immediately as Delight gets the knock up. It's just not quite enough there. But the turnaround from Viper. And he grabs the kill on the enemy top laner.
Oh, somebody attacked those Mystic shots there. The fact that, yeah, even with the turret shot, Viper was able to actually get the kill on Keen there is huge.
That was an X-ray on that Q, man. Really making it through the target he didn't want to hit.
And yes, Chovy will get this inner here bottom side, but this is a huge win here for Hanwha Life and a lot of map control. The mid tower still stands here for Hanwha Life Esports. Earlier, will really solidify the control over the map that Hanwha Life has.
Whoa, that's the flash head up Pulve as they look for some damage onto the light, but don't really find any of it at all. And now Lahen's just a little bit too far forward. The Mystic shots are landing, but the will is unbreakable. So Lahen's going to be able to keep himself alive. It's a big cooldown that they've used, though.
Actually end up using a lot there. Canyon and Pace their ultimates. A lot going into Delight, who really isn't that impressive. Chovy.
Oh, okay. Zeka looks for the angle and he finds the solo under the top outer turret. The Zeka outplay in game 4. This is feeling like Hanwha Life Esports actually finding a little bit left in the tank, finding a little bit more. And they haven't relinquished control of the tempo in this game. The hook is going to go wide. But they're the ones that are utilizing first move on map so well. Can Gen.G fight it back though? That's the question. As Keen just running towards Delight, but Doran says no, you will not kill my support. So much damage down onto Keen now, and it's Zeka that's able to help. Doran grabbed that kill, and now Viper with the true shot barrage. The hook comes through. Doran finding an extra one. Chovy this time he's able to take one, but he's the last man standing. As look at that, the leapfrog.
You say they can't back, they're going to come over and contest anyways, it looks like, or at least Lahen's coming over.
I mean, they're going to look at it, but I don't know whether Canyon can get in here. He walks over, but Peanut says no. They're a little bit too fast. And now a 6,000 gold lead is what we're approaching. The Red Bull Baron power play hasn't even gotten started yet. And Hanwha Life Esports, they're looking to try and, like, they're pulling out the record now. Silver Scrapes is coming, ladies.
It's just so, it's almost like a phalanx the way that this plays out. Zeka and Viper obviously having escapes as well in their kits.
The Blitzcrank is lurking in the jungle, and yours is pretty dark. Delight is just going to be such a menace. Like, it's win more versus win more. Something huge happening that catches them off guard. And this is now Peanut taking that front foot. They are just going to use the ultimate to zone. The hook is going to come through as well, but it's just an uppercut. Lahen's just going to walk
perspective, right? When we go back, as Lahen's, you know he's looking, yes, Flash, you know he needs to make a hero play for this to work out, but I feel like Hanwha Life, the counter engage is just so nuts as the TP comes in.
Yeah, the Nature's Grasp is already there. They're trying to hold him into position. There is the knock-up. Lahen's does press his R button in time, and Viper is presented for his team, but it's not going to be followed up on. And into the backline goes Doran. He gets his Stranglethorns, and it does nothing because he just jumps out of the way. The twisted advance, and Pace can't flash away from it. He'll be going down here as Zeka just chases forward. It's a double kill, and that is going to be Silver Scrapes queued up for the second time this year, spring and summer. We're going to 5.
And that Ox predicted if Hanwha can get it done back-to-back as he gave it a 5er for Hanwha Life Esports, but he was the only one.
Ended up coming back, winning Worlds. 2022, DRX, down 1 and 2. Ended up making it back, winning. And again, just the fact that we are about to go to a Game 5 in of itself is a testament to Hanwha's approval. And the fact that able to clutch it out in these game 5s, but the fact that we're getting there in the first place is insane.
Oh, Gen.G, they might have found an angle. The arcade shift was perfectly timed. It's Delight. He's even able to walk back and punch them. The Mystic Shot's not quite landing just yet, but the Nature's Grasp comes in, and now they're stationary. Viper finding the Q, and he's wiping them out. Gen.G, it was a Hail Mary, but unfortunately, it's a Hail Game 5, as Hanwha Esports will now take down the inhibitor and take down these Nexus turrets. We're going the distance. 2 seasons in a row here in the LCK, and we'd have it no other way. Success on this pick, but Nautilus himself hasn't found a lot of success recently, and that is the Rel. A very different story. Certainly a few old teammates of his down here on the bottom side.
Yeah, we'll see. They might be teleporting Keen down again. Lahens is already at the turret. That was a crucial mistake in the first game. They might still look for a dive.
Yeah, 4 versus 2. I've seen this one before. That is going to be Lahens taking so much damage, but he finds the hook. It is once again going to be the 1-for-1. But can they find more? That's the question. Doran does not have turret aggro, so he's just able to...
With where the dragon is.
Yeah, I do think that if he does want to go for this one, just don't.
Maybe a catch?
That would be fine.
To buy further time to catch up or give yourself a better team fight. They already got that first dragon as well. Canyon's coming in.
Yeah, looking for the angle there. They don't quite find the dredge line as Doran does get impaled, but he's surviving for so long. The exhaust goes down, but it just does not do enough. The Grandmaster's Mind comes in. The Ziggs takes the first kill. The Jax finally goes down, but now it's Hanwha Esports' turn to get aggressive. Great stun to come through from the Shattering Strike. Keen, does he have enough buttons? Kasante. So of course he does, but not enough to get out of the cease and desist. And Zeka.
9 more grubs to Gen.G.
Yeah, this is huge. Grubs being picked up for a Ziggs, who already has that turret destructive power.
Oh,
feel very valuable. Canyon says no.
Canyon getting on in there as Peanut not going to be able to lock that one down. It was an early smite as now Zeka's in trouble on the top side of the map. Does get that shield back, and oh, that satchel's so good! Bouncing Bomb is not going to quite find
the... upon this top wave.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Bolt breakering his way out.
It's gonna have to be a good Drake.
Yeah, Mega Inferno Bomb doesn't do enough.
How much he's grown as a player as he lets Pace take it. And it's because he needs the back, and I thought that they were going to play for Herald, but it looks like instead they are going to look for the cross map as there's that Ziggs valve.
And Rift Herald is going to come down. The trade for Outer on the bottom side for Outer here in the mid lane.
So it's a 2-for-1 here in favor of Hanwha Life.
Yeah, they're able to grab that. And now it's like maybe there's a compartment under the wings or something, which is where you go, because it does look like you're not really visible. All right, yeah, Lahens out of position. Bolt Break is going to connect. Hanwha Esports looked a little apprehensive, but Lahens is just dead, and they know it. Zeka going to be able to lock down that kill, make it 5 versus 2 as now Chovy spotted here by Delight. They're going to teleport in, they're looking for it. Cease and desist going to be
there.
Really
shouldn't. As Keen, is he in trouble? There is no TP available to help him, but he does clear the wave.
No knock up here,
so you can actually now assist way more easy than you could before. We talked about the Ziggs already. Kai'Sa's kind of the same in that you can impact side lanes so much, and Keen obviously has great setup, because both teams are so easily able to collapse on side lane. You really don't want to overstep because there's so much CC. But that means, again, this team has been very vocal about how much it means to them just to get these LCK records, these domestic
titles,
domestic dominant and the titles that they've been able to get.
Achievements are huge. I mean,
they don't know. Canyon's in the pit.
Yeah, Delight finding a little angle here. This could be a huge impale. Canyon! He gets on in there. The impale only onto one. Zeka is not going to be focused here as the cease and desist into the backline. Mega Inferno Bomb. It's Chovy that's the target, and Chovy they will find. Pace gets into the backline though. It's a Hextech minefield, and he's just destroyed. Delight is trying to keep Keen busy, but that is not a good use of
win the fight.
I mean, you see there again. I think ideally, maybe Peanut's the one that you take out of the fight, right? The problem here is Canyon maybe looking.
Yeah, maybe wanting to find a little bit of an angle here, but Doran just going to jump in and trying to find an angle. 52. The rest of the team dive on top of him just in case. There's the dive bomb to come through. Viper, he takes that one. Doran still looking for a little bit of an angle here. Zeka in an awkward position in the back of the pit now. Doran looks for the angle, he finds the counter-strike, there's the knock-up. The impale is massive, but so is Mega Inferno Bomb. And now they all pile in. Pace is going to be taken down first. Keen is out of the fight. And Gen.G, they don't have the men to do battle against Hanwha Esports around the Dragon. take the dragon away, but Hanwha Esports may have just won the game.
Hanwha Life are definitely going to be looking towards that Baron. Doran ensuring that Canyon can't leave.
Down he will fall, very likely. He might be able to escape here against this Jax, but with this stun, it's less likely. He's very slippery, very difficult to lock down, but keeping him this low health means he might as well be dead. The Baron belongs to Hanwha Life, and the target selection on that fight, the flank from Peanut, the engage from Doran, they got Pays, and even though Keen has teleport, he's a Cassante, and there are no flank wards, there is no setup for him.
God.
And you're getting chunked out. Oh, the ult!
Mega in front of him! And if that was the middle, Trophy's just dead. I think, was that like one balloon from a Hextech minefield? As that is a decent Q from Keen, but now with a whole bunch of friends, Hanwha Esports should be able to defend Doran here and grab themselves an inner turret. Very difficult to get that demolished, but now with the Baron, that siege minion is able. Mega in front of him just to soften them up here. And you can hear Ward that you're standing on there, Doran, a little bit dangerous. But they are going to move on top of this dragon right now. Bouncing bomb, a lot of damage onto Canyon. Pays, still wanting to try and find that window, find that angle. The hook is going to connect. The knock-up onto Peanut as he flashes out, ults back in. The Impale is decent, but the Yone's already struck. Chovy trying to get himself out of there, but Pays once again is going to get executed. And Chovy is the next in line. He'll break his arm guard, but I think that Hanwha Life want to break more than that. As the Q is going to miss, Chovy's still going to go down. And Hanwha Esports another team fight win. And this one, I think, was the real backbreaker.
The final, Rocks Tiger stands strong, gets the engage on, it doesn't matter. Zeka, the only win he ever had against Chovy was at World semi-final, but guess what? He's about to get another one.
It's another game 5 for Zeka. We didn't know what would happen, but we should have assumed that if it's game 5, he gets it done. Him and Viper able to put that work in. One last fight here as Delight is taken down. But Lahens, I think, is going to follow soon. Peanut is going to say goodnight to his ex-teammate, and they get to work on the Nexus turret. Hanwha Esports have changed history, and they will end the reign of Gen.G, and a new Tiger is in charge.
These were the best highlights from today's LCK matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say, okay. See you on the next one.